Good morning, afternoon, and evening. I am Marius Historicus, your local time lost history lecturer, and today we are going to be finishing up with Sniper Elite 4. I did do a poll based on our last little attempt in the mission, trying to see if anyone had a strong preference for what to use. Unfortunately, nobody did. So I'm going to go with just my best judgment because the Delisle was just not cutting it. It was a little too short range, a little too challenging considering the terrain. So we're just going to go completely off the menu. We're not necessarily going to use stealth, right? We're going to do whatever we want. So just a little follow-up to some of what I was saying last stream. The military engineering survey is largely complete. I just need to finish up a section on the Gallic Wars and on generalized Roman military fortifications. From there, it's more an issue of trying to put this all into a PowerPoint that is not so information dense, still has lots of interesting graphics for people to latch onto and take a look at. That is going to be a little bit of a challenge, as you might expect. So, we're going to do that just because it's a history lecture, right? No one likes being lectured to death by PowerPoint. So I'll try to make it entertaining. If you saw my mini lecture on the Italian campaign, you'll understand that's generally kind of the vibe I'm going for. Not necessarily a whole lot of words on the screen, but a lot of in-depth explanation for what it is that you're seeing. From there, it's going to be a longer slog until we get the next possible lecture up, and that is probably going to be the Bunagona campaign, taught in the style of a staff ride. For everyone who doesn't know, a staff ride is what the military, kind of all over the world, calls any kind of in depth discussion of a battle or operation from an academic perspective. The idea is that you will preferably go out to the ground that the battle was fought on so you can literally walk the terrain. You can see where the forces would have been. You can see, or at least try to visualize, the limitations that commanders would have through the fog and friction of war, whether that is terrain masking where the enemy is, the effects of, say, gunpowder or smoke across a battlefield. If you can, the weather conditions as well. You'd be amazed at how quickly heavy rains or wet ground or mud or snow will severely limit the mobility of infantry and cavalry, to say the least, in certain battlefields of what the effect on mechanized combat is. If you try to fight in Eastern Europe during the spring, I'm sorry, you're probably going to get stuck in mud and get used to being stuck in mud quite a bit if the World War I and World War II experience was any indicator, right? So that's going to be, by necessity, a much longer lead time because you have to structure it in a certain style. You have to find all the sources and ultimately give the battle its due diligence. It's not just something that you can, or rather, it's something that you should not be just winging. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in it. There's a lot of valuable information to glean and apply in, at least in a military sense, similar terrain, similar venues, even if the technology has changed, the essential character has not. So that's where we're, at least where I'm going to attempt to go over the next lecture. It's going to be a challenge because I've never really written about Bunagona before in undergrad, aside from a brief couple paragraphs. So this will be a whole new experience for me to really dive deep and figure out what's going on with it. However, without further ado, it is time to round out Sniper Elite 4's campaign in the Alagra Mountains. So we're gonna go over here really quick. And you should be able to hear this. Let me just validate that super quick. because if we can't hear it, that's a problem. Okay, yes, it looks like the audio is functioning correctly. I still don't really know why my cursor is so wildly offset. That's kind of amusing to me, actually. And yes, I'm aware that the audio just cut out. I'm still messing around with stuff here. Alright, so at least we know the audio works. Now, kind of based on what we saw, the terrain's pretty congested. It's pretty hard to take the shots that we want to do, right? So what we're gonna do is take a look at the weapons we already have. So I could do the ZH-29. It doesn't quite have the damage output I want, though. The Lee Enfield is pretty good. How do I get the recoil? Ooh, 5 shot trap kills. That's pretty hard, right? But our lovely, lovely M1 has velocity, recoil, and zoom, right? Damage, a little bit less than the Lee Enfield, but still pretty good. Also, significantly faster rate of fire. So I think we're going to go with the M1. We still have our MKB-42, and I'm going to go with my HDM. Why? Because I greatly enjoy having this. See, so suppress special operations pistol using a low power 22 long rifle cartridge allows it to be effective, semi-automatic at short range. Allegedly, this was fired in the Oval Office without the president even knowing that it was fired. So it's honestly kind of cool, right? As you can see, I have the damage, muzzle velocity, and accuracy upgrades on this. The Mauser M712 would also be a very fun pistol, but it'd be extremely loud, so we're not going to use that. And the Welrod, of course, is your very typical special operations weapon. Kind of what people think of the most when they hear OSS, SOE, and especially Sniper Elite 4, because that's one of the base pistols you start off the game with. From what I remember, that is. So, we are going to start it kind of from the beginning again and go from there. So we're going to use the pistol a lot more. And we've already seen this, so we can just skip that really quick. So, as you can see, that gives us barely 2 clips for the M1. In total, that is. I do, however, have 2 full magazines for the HDM. So we're going to try to use this to our best advantage.
The heart of darkness. Gotta find a way in.
So we're going to start tagging what we can find.
Ist eigentlich ganz hübsch hier.
Join the army to see the world. Well, I'm sure he's seen a little bit of Europe at least. And I think he's either going behind or through a bunker. What was his name? Elmo. Oh, goodness. Well, Elmo's about to be dropped like a deer. Which sounds horrible, but that's, you know, stuff happens. Let's put it that way. Yeah, stuff happens. That's a great way to, kind of trivialize war a little bit. In case none of you could tell, that was me being sarcastic. It's always a difficult thing to participate in and go to war. But veterans and soldiers tend to make light of it at times to help deal with both the stress of combat and overall just working in a profession where, violence is an acceptable use, or at least it is acceptable to use elements of violence to achieve their ends. Right? We've got a nice little bush to hide in here. We have 5 total in the vicinity. So we're going to very slowly start taking them out. As you can see, that's one good hit. He's going inside. Probably checking up on that guy in the bunker. Nope, he's going to sit down for a bit. Interesting choice. Maybe not a particularly great choice. Oh, he's up and about again. Just like that, he's back inside.
This will come in very useful.
I'm going to make a guess that he's going to return. Nope, not sure where he's going actually. It's coming back towards me, so we're gonna kind of move out of the way here. I decided to say, oh, he has found the body. Which means I am gonna run back to my little bush. Dumb way to die, he said. Good lord. Alright, so now they are all very active and alert, while the officer is not dead. Alright, so now they're all kind of rushing around, trying to see what's happening. Yep, and the officer has found the second body. So largely, they're just going to keep running around until they have a better clue of what's happening and functioning. Yep, the officer's taking the lead in investigating. We have one guy going around the far side. Gonna have to wait for them to settle down a little bit. they're going to keep on going.
Nothing else.
Man, they're really going far. Oh, missed. So now they're aware I'm around here somewhere. And I'm just gonna eliminate that officer super quick, because I do not need him blowing the alarm.
That's over.
Gonna reload really quick. There we go. That was a little more professional. Thankfully, it didn't actually shoot.
Guess I grabbed everything useful.
Still could have turned bad, though. Oh, yeah, there's the guy. Now. We're gonna eliminate that radio operator first, followed by our forward observer. Because that eliminates two things. One, reinforcements, and two, artillery barrages. Because although when he drops the flare gun, you only have one flare, the NPCs do have multiple. So that's more than a little frustrating as a player. Because they can just keep calling in artillery on you all day long if they really want to. That guy all the way down there. So let's see, how far away can I... There we go. Seeing the officer is about to come over here too. So I can get him. I'll lock in really quick. Lead the target. Or just check really quick to see if there's any booby traps or anything around here. Nothing. No telltale sniper's glints. I thought that was a machine gun nest of some sort. So, okay, we're going to take a look at what this guy has. Another duty roster. More people.
Think I've grabbed all I can.
That's the Jaeger I shot earlier who found the FO's body. That FO was somewhere around here. There he is.
Can't find anything else.
See, suppressed rifle ammo. That's going to help out a little bit.
No more to find here.
And from what I'm seeing, don't actually have any minefields. Otherwise, they'd be showing up in a red color. So, the body should be around here somewhere. Again, should is one of those words, right? Keep going, keep going. Because he should be Should have been down here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoops. Alright, I don't know where he went. Oof, now that is a serial killer behavior right there if I've ever seen. Likes to see his target's face when he's killing him. Definite serial killer behavior. But we can fix that. So, okay, no idea where the last Jaeger went.
Nothing else to find.
Yeah, so we have Minen up here. Oh, bingo. There's one right there. Very dangerous. But not if you know what you're doing.
This will come in very useful.
And there's the third one. We'll be able to defuse this. Oh, my goodness. That's a lot of mines. That's... Oh, he was walking right through the minefield? Well, that's dumb. Okay, good.
Think I've grabbed all I can.
Alright. So now they're concerned that they saw something. Gonna keep on going. He's gonna stop, he's gonna look. And that is not what you're gonna do, ideally. That's a little better. He is, however, well, at least there's one person who's still freaking out right now. So we're gonna wait just a little bit. Because I should be largely concealed.
No more to find here.
So we still have quite a bit of rifle ammo to find. So fun little fact, the Garand can actually be round reloaded. It does take a little bit of doing, but you are actually able to hold it open and reload rounds individually. It's not a very well used technique, but soldiers could top it off without having to eject the clip and making that telltale sound. As you can imagine, it's pretty low on someone's list priorities to suddenly make a very distinctive clanging sound when you're reloading your weapon. Okay, looks like they found something again. Shotgun ammo. That's strange. Alright, so I'm not quite sure how I can get across this segment without attracting attention, because there's a wall. Looks like I can kind of go up along the side there. This is an awful long pistol shot. I don't think I can actually do this one. Yeah, see, he's even outside of my pistol range. This guy is just sitting there. Now you'll notice that there's a giant suppressor on the end of the barrel now. That is actually very historically accurate because you need a long suppressor as well as subsonic ammunition to even suppress something the size of a rifle cartridge. A pistol round can be done with a relatively short suppressor. A rifle needs a very large one just due to the amount of propellant gases that are pushing it through the barrel. All right, he's sticking his head up. So I'm going to wait for him to do it one more time and shoot. You'll notice I still have the ghost modifier. See, just like that. I have just enough rounds remaining to have just one regular clip for the Garand. So this will get us up, around, and in. As well as towards a entrance here. Already knows that we have a machine gun bunker right there that we probably want to neutralize. So let's search for rifle rounds first.
Very useful.
Ah, the FG-42. We're going to do that, see? Why the FG-42? Is not a regular option is beyond me, right? They actually sell a repro version of this, from what I've been told, chambered in variety, either 7.62 by 51, so NATO standard, and it's also available in 8mm Mauser, which is what the real FG-42 was chambered in. I've always wanted to get one of those just because it's such a historically unique weapon, and especially with a 308 version that simplifies a lot of logistical concerns over it, as well as price concerns, because 8mm is pretty expensive, comparatively speaking. Now, I know I took someone out around here, I believe. Oh, he was down there, that's why.
That's all.
Dear Gisela, how does song go again? In my heart, sweetheart, there's a lot of space for you. Well, there always was. I should have married you or something, made an honorable woman of you. But if you're reading this, I guess it's too late. I'm dead and gone, if not buried. Raise a glass to me, my love, Eric. 25 August. So that would have been shortly before Sicily was declared liberated. Who do we got? Alright, there's no one over there. But now, we're going to take advantage of this right here. And if you hear my daughter in the background, I apologize. She is going through it. Oh, missed one. Oh, they're big mad now. It's number 2. There he is. 3, 2, 3. Ooh. Right, he's on the bridge. Crap. Oh, there he is. Ooh, those are snipers. And he does see me. As you can see, this is when things tend to go to hell a little bit. But I'm now off the X, and they don't quite know where I am. However, everyone is now alerted. So wait for the officer. There we go. Now we're clear.
Guess I grabbed everything useful.
Lots of shotgun ammo on a level that doesn't have a shotgun. Ah, safe code. Interesting.
Can't find anything else.
Now, it's not strictly necessary to demolish the machine gun bunkers, but it does help quite a bit. A logical choice. 8 August 1943, shortly after, about halfway through the invasion of Sicily, right? Dear Benjamin, this is my last letter. I wasn't sure what to write. They're my oldest friends, so you seem the logical choice. We shared a lot of happy times together. If you receive this, could you go to my mother and tell her I am gone? No matter the manner of my demise, just tell her I didn't suffer. Don't make me a hero. Just tell her I died quickly and didn't cry. Thank you, my friend, Clemens. Again, a pretty common sort of last letter. Request for family and friends to be informed. And he's about to start shooting. I don't need that. So they think they see something. Is that a third one? There's a third one. It's right there. Let's just do that. Perfect. Now that did set people off. But again, this is fixable. Yeah, there's some kind of safe in there. Yeah, see, they're all kind of clustered around in this area right here that we at least are aware of. Undoubtedly, there are more. So what we're gonna do is take this little northern route, or
Need some way of pinpointing the base for the bombing run.
easterly, no,
Must be
westerly
some kind
route.
of fuel processing plant here. Could
See,
be
we
useful.
have all kinds of people running around now. So at this point, it's just a matter of picking them all off one by one. Because there's going to eventually be gaps in the roving patrols. There's going to be people who just sit down and don't want to do their job. It's any number. Of course, we can also do that, right? So I need to relocate now. We're going to try this one. This should get me up to the catwalks.
Nothing else to find. Again, not the best way to go about it, but you can get enough, right? Guess I grabbed everything useful.
Let's reload. I think that's a med kit. Actually, since we can, we're going to heal up really quick. Today, kiddies, we're going to learn about a little effed up trick. And that is sticky grenades.
Nothing else.
Very useful for when you want to completely ensure that someone or something is dead. Something down there saying it's active. Actually, we're going to do this super quick.
No more to find here.
This should work. Should have done that first, probably. Alright, he's on a lower level, I think. Yeah, because he's passing by the tank, but he's not actually at the tank. It's one of the reasons this level is so trippy for me. It's because they can come in from any angles. Also, why fighting in large subterranean structures like this is considered a very difficult, dangerous task. Okay.
What's Hitler planning for his new toys? Need to find out their strategy.
Oh. Well, that was easy. Okay. We actually have something kind of interesting here, right?
Can't find anything else.
Right. So this is what they understand as currents. That's American bombers, forces, and then what the Germans have. So British right there, American bomber, German fighters, rocket facility, and more military forces kind of spread out, right? What? $92, $72. Oh, they all say the same exact thing, right? It's 2025. Yeah. So not quite as detailed information as we'd be accustomed to receiving. Twin engine fighter, it looks like. Very unusual design.
That's all. German's missile strategy. Perfect.
Right. This report will outline the future strategy for the Razor missile designed by Professor Andreas Kessler as part of a wider missile strategy. It will explore a series of scenarios in which a new missile can be deployed. In conjunction with V2 weapons, the Führer believes the Razor has potential to form part of a renewed total war strategy incorporating new V2 rockets aimed at civilian targets such as London. Again, that was a primary purpose of the V2. Though we currently exist in a formal treaty of non-aggression with Japanese Empire under the Tripartite Act of 1940, following our success over the Allied force, we anticipate a future scenario in which Japan threatens the interests and/or ongoing security of the Reich. The Razor missile will prove a useful conventional military deterrent alongside other weapons. See report 3BB/92/433, subject year-end event, which, that's interesting. And that is also partially a subplot for The Man in the High Castle. When everyone's won, what do you do with your erstwhile allies who are pursuing their own aims and their own national interest?
A hydrogen peroxide plant. Must be how they're fueling the missiles. Need to find some way of showing the bombers what we are. Overloading the hydrogen peroxide.
Goodness gracious. That was a doozy. Who dares nothing? Marja Yana, this is the last letter I will ever write. I don't have time to tell you how much you and the children mean to me. Kiss them for me. Who dares nothing, need hope for nothing.
This will come in very useful.
Kind of a grim last message. Stop running towards me, good God. There's just red lighting over there. Alright, so I need to go up one level in looks.
Think I've grabbed all I can.
Let's get me to the maintenance area. Here we go. Yeah, this is more what I need.
There's no guarantee Kessler will talk to us. We need the technical specifications for the missile.
And we shall have it.
Technical specifications for the missile.
Yep, very similar to the HS-293. Just the ramjet for the 293 was on top as opposed to the bottom.
Kessler's baby. Better make sure it's dealt with.
Yoink.
Better put this out of action too.
There we go.
Nothing else to find.
We're gonna do him dirty. We're gonna do this. So he's not moving like I thought he would. There we go. Now we're gonna do dirty. War's a bitch. Bring a helmet. You don't carry anything good. Okay. Okay. So it looks like it's multiple missiles right now.
I think I've grabbed all I can. Now to find the other valves.
Good God. I know it's only a 22 LR, but Jesus. People need to die faster. Or I can just start shooting. Which is probably the smarter option, to be quite frank. So where'd he go? There you are.
That's all.
Okay. So there's multiple hydrogen plants, but where are they exactly? Okay.
No more to find here. Second valve.
So I can't see anything from there. Sort of backtrack. Oh.
Guess I grabbed everything useful. Gotta make sure the Nazis can't salvage anything from this operation. But how?
My goodness. That was a nightmare and a half. Oh. Very much nightmare and a half.
This'll come in very useful.
Oh, yikes. I feel like I'm missing something down here. Just don't know what. I need to find a stairwell to get to the very bottom. Wherever those rooms are. Okay, should be somewhere on this level, I feel. Just not seeing it though is the problem. That's a sniper taken care of. The officer gone. Okay.
Can't find anything else.
Was war das? Ich lese lieber mal nach.
Gleich ist noch warm. Wir müssen den Abschaum finden, der das war. Verdammt nochmal!
Kind of gonna just lead them on a little merry chase right now.
Another one of Kessler's laser missiles. Can't risk this surviving.
Ooh. Yikes.
this out of action too.
Hmm.
Nothing else.
No more FG-42s. That's a little odd.
Nothing else to find. Third time's a charm. Need to overload the system.
Oh, we're going third time. No idea where that is. Just running around looking at everything. Based on the map, there's only a couple more things that are here for me to mess with. Means looking all over. Yep, there's the last missile, it looks like.
That's all the missiles dealt with.
And we got the main control plant.
It's done. A radio room. Better call in the bombing raid. Mother Hen, this is Red Fox. Send your regards. I repeat, send your regards to Allegra.
Uh-oh.
All I wanted was the angel.
Ah,
I didn't know
Dorfman.
the partisans would follow her to their deaths.
They followed her because she gave them hope. They died heroes.
Hope, in reality, is the worst of all evils, because it prolongs the torments of man. Friedrich Nietzsche.
General Boehm, I presume.
The worst terrors are shapeless, formless. If no one knows who I am, I can be whoever I need to be. I can manipulate. I can avoid detection if need be. I could be a man. Or a monster.
Dorfman or Boehm.
Yeah, exactly.
We have Kessler, and the production facilities are wrecked.
Kessler will be dead before he's any use to the Allies. And as for your little, mischief in the production facility, well, it's just too late. Yeah, I'm going to start with the USS Anchor. The illustrious General Eisenhower. I'll take the Allied fleet, ship by ship. Operation Avalanche will be extinguished before it's even begun. See, if only this was enough. But, it's not. Bring her in here!
I failed, Carl. I failed them all. I failed my father.
Yeah. See, there is no hope here. Not anymore. We're going to torture her. Yeah. And, you're going to watch. Lieutenant.
All it takes is a spark.
Ooh. Brutal. No time to mourn, I'm being shot at.
Sophia sacrificed herself so I could escape. Better make sure it wasn't in vain.
Oh. And he's getting in the plane.
Have to stop that missile launcher. Keep hitting the engine. It might blow. Bullseye. Need a few more like that. Direct hit. Need to keep hitting the engine. Jackpot. Now for the other engine. Got it.
Oh, shoot. I think I missed. Oh, shit. Nope. So we're going to restart the checkpoint.
Gotta stop it launching.
I keep hitting the engine. Jackpot. Now for the other engine.
There we go. All engines down.
From a little spark.
That was a little embarrassing. Ian gave me 2 opportunities to correct it.
Time to go.
Stand by.
The fleet, including Eisenhower's command ship, Ancon, was saved. Avalanche happened as planned. The U.S. Fifth Army and British Eighth fighting their way up the Italian mainland. The Angel was dead. But the spark she ignited spread like wildfire, clearing the way for the Allies. But the path to Rome would be treacherous, and it'd be another year before we broke through the Gothic line, the Germans' main line of defense.
They did it without us, the townsfolk. Pushed him out before the Fifth Army even got here.
All it took was a spark.
Talking of which, I hope 617 Squadron didn't singe your limey ass.
Let's just say it was a little tight. I thought you were giving me a bit more leeway.
Carl, you and I are utterly expendable. You know that.
Not like your man there.
The professor hasn't got long left. Trust me, though, we'll squeeze what we can out of him. More to the point, what about you, Carl? What's you gonna do? The man who saved Ike Eisenhower. Woo-wee! OSS could sure use someone with your talents.
That sounds like a job offer.
Doesn't it, though?
I'll think about it.
Sure thing. Don't think about it too long. We got a war to win.
Damn right.
Just like that. Boom burns. I've killed Boom, stopped the missile that would have destroyed Eisenhower's command ship, called in 617 Squadron to decimate Boom's base. You won't be able to bring back those who died in the Arcadia, the Alagna Partisans of Sicilia, the Angel Batanti, who sacrificed self so I could escape. But now the fight for Italy can begin in earnest. And that is the campaign. So, bit of a not quite cliffhanger there with the offer of a job by OSS, but it does nicely get the way cleared for the Allied invasion of Italy and the successive series of fights up to and through the Gothic and Winter lines. And that is all the time I really have for today. So it has been, let me see, why is this, oh, wait a minute, I think it worked now, whoops. Let's get out of this again. There we go. So now we have the conclusion of the campaign, and we're just going to take a quick look to see who I might be able to raid into, right? Because we always have to do that a little bit. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple people here in Sniper Elite. Let's see. Who's online that I'm following that we can raid into? You know what? Let's raid Rabo 9 Delta. We are unable to raid at this time. Oh yeah, probably because she's in an ASMR chat right now. So, you know what? We're actually just going to end stream there. Thank you for sticking with me through the Sniper Elite 4 campaign. I think next up we're gonna go back to ancient history. We're gonna do the start of an Expeditions Rome playthrough, right? That's gonna be super fun if you've never played that before. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope you all have a pleasant morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the classroom next time. Bye, everyone.